What is the difference between dispensationalism and progressive covenantalism? Progressive covenantalism is the newest of the theological systems. It has been proposed as a middle ground between dispensationalism and covenant theology, and that's true. Yet it's much closer to covenant theology. I'll summarize two ways progressive covenantalism is like covenant theology and how it is like dispensationalism. And then we will see how it's different than dispensationalism. First, progressive covenantalism, like covenant theology, finds the promises to Israel fulfilled in the church. Importantly, they get there through typology. For progressive covenantalism, Jesus is the ultimate Israelite, and all the church is united with him. Accordingly, the church becomes Israel through union with Christ. Second, like covenant theology, progressive covenantalism maintains that the land promises given to Israel are fulfilled spiritually, not literally. How is progressive covenantalism like dispensationalism? First, progressive covenantalism sees significant discontinuity in the biblical storyline. One example is their distinction between the Old Testament and the New Testament people of God. The Old Testament people of God, they say, are a mixed community of believers and unbelievers, while the New Testament community is only believers. This leads to their belief in baptism for believers only. A second similarity to dispensationalism is the focus on the kingdom. This is unsurprising, since a focus on biblical covenants leads naturally to an emphasis on the kingdom. So why is progressive covenantalism more like covenant theology than dispensationalism? The answer is in hermeneutics. Progressive covenantalism maintains what they call canonical interpretation. This method of interpretation suggests that later revelation can add more meaning to prior revelation. Dispensationalists, on the other hand, argue that a text cannot mean what it never meant. If later revelation changes prior revelation, could future revelation change our current revelation? And in light of progressive covenantalism's focus on the covenants, Galatians 3:17 seems appropriate to mention. There, Paul says that a later covenant cannot annul the promises of a prior covenant. A second hermeneutical assumption that aligns progressive covenantalism with covenant theology is a focus on typology. Vlock makes a distinction between typology and typological interpretation. Unfortunately, progressive covenantalism goes beyond recognizing typology to making typology a hermeneutical center of their theological system. The result is that clear promises are no longer fulfilled to their original recipients, and they're often no longer fulfilled in a way that reflects their original character. Progressive covenantalism is rightly understood as mediating between dispensationalism and covenant theology. It's made some good progress, but the hermeneutical assumptions keep it firmly on the covenantal side of the divide.